Hi, Sweet Pea.
Hi, Mummy Bear.
What can I say that I haven't already said before we have another chit-chat?
Yes, this is episode 62, and it is with the amazing Advolly Richmond.
It sure is. It was an absolute pleasure to chat with Advolly.
was.
Of course, we see her on our screens on a semi-regular basis on Gardener's World.
Yeah.
And it was a delight to get a bit more background on Advolly, how she got into gardening herself, how she got into the social history of gardening.
The stories behind it.
Yeah. And it's a fascinating area. I mean, something that really, really intrigues you, isn't it, Sweet Pea?
I mean, I find it so cool because it's a bit like forensics. You're learning the background, you're learning the context, you're learning what happened back then to create what
That's
happens
so true, yes.
now. And
like cold cases.
Exactly, cold cases going into the archives, which is precisely what Advolly's doing. She's going into the archives, she's finding the letters people have written to each other about plants and then their social lives, which are quite la. So it sounds like a fantastic job. And as she said, love a bit of gossip. So
love a bit of gossip.
I'm on board with that.
Oh, it's a fascinating insight, and we're very grateful that Advolly could share that with us.
Know,
we also, of
so
course,
cool.
talk about her getting her OBE.
Oh,
congratulations
my gosh.
again. That was on the New Year's Honours list this new year.
Absolutely was.
Very, very exciting and fantastic to hear more about that.
Yes.
And, of course, we talk about Advolly's book, which... Sweet Pea speaks with first-hand knowledge about because she got it for Christmas.
It's on the shelf behind me.
There it is on the shelf. Yeah.
It was fun to be able to point it out to Advolly, and it's very visible on the shelf because it is a bright Barbie pink.
It is.
You can see it from miles away.
Front and centre.
And it's called A Short History of Flowers. And we talk a little bit about it, about some funny stories, some of the ones that crack her up. Yeah. Because I love a good story about a plant, behind the plant names.
Yeah.
And so we talk a bit about how she kind of had the idea for the book and then getting the plants in it. And it's a very interesting process of creating such a book.
Yeah, for sure. And we have got that on our new webpage on our website, notjustgarden.co.uk. If you go to the top picks page, on there we have Advolly's book as well as a couple of others. Those are ones that we have first-hand knowledge of.
Exactly.
So that's why we recommend them. They're our top picks from all the recommendations we've had. So you can find it through there or Amazon or any good bookstore as well.
Waterstones.
In fact, that one I did buy from Waterstones. Yeah.
You did.
Also, Advolly talks about a lot of the gardens she's visited, and we will, as always, be linking those on the website, notjustgarden.co.uk. We'll have all of those linked, as well as a book that Advolly mentions, and some links to the silent spaces that Advolly talks about as well.
Yes, which we also heard about in another chit-chat, so we'll talk about that another time
Another
as well.
chit-chat, which hasn't been published yet,
no,
but will be published. But Advolly got in there first.
Yeah.
So it's all a bit of a switcheroo's gone on.
The timings are
but
weird.
We'll get there.
Exactly.
Now, in terms of noises, this was an unfortunate day because someone is drilling something somewhere in Sweet Pea's apartment block.
I'm really sorry about this.
You haven't figured out where or what's being drilled. It's very, very loud when you go downstairs to the foyer. But
it's still just as loud up on my floor, so cannot tell where it's coming from, and it's
also how long it's going to continue for.
Yeah, exactly. And just so people understand, it's not my fault because I have to revise with that each day.
Yeah, so exactly.
Think about
this isn't
through
choice. Anyway, so really that's the main noise you will hear. Yes. Some drilling. Also, Advolly was quite passionate at times. She clapped her hands, managed to remove some of those claps, but you'll hear a couple more muted in the background. That was just from pure passion
and joy.
So, Sweet Pea, what's the format?
So for Advolly's dream garden, and she had a dream garden.
Sure did.
We had, first of all, garden boundary, shed or greenhouse, 5 ornamentals, 5 edibles, 1 statement tree, pond or pool for plum plant, and finally favourite seating area drink, and 1 plant for that area.
And as always, if you want to get in touch, please do. We have a contacts page on the website, or you can get us on our email, which is notjustagarden@outlook.com.
Exactly.
Right, Sweet Pea, let's get stuck into this episode.
Yes, absolutely.
This is episode 62, A Good Ol Chit-Chat with Advolly Richmond.
Off we go.
Welcome, Advolly, to Good Ol Chit-Chat.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Before we start anything, I must congratulate you on your OBE.
Oh, my word. Yeah, well, that was a bit of a surprise.
Was it? How did the
Really?
news come through to you?
I received a letter in November, mid-November, and it arrived at about 10ish in the morning. My husband had gone out because normally we work from home. He's downstairs in the study and I'm up. And normally he worked from home, but he'd gone out. And I knew he wasn't coming back until quite late.
Oh, no. And you were desperate to tell him.
And I
When you
had
coming back?
this letter, and I read it and read it and read it, and I could not work. I couldn't do anything.
No, of course not.
No.
How can you?
I just could not focus. And I spoke to my husband twice during the day. He sort of rang and said, right, okay, yeah, it's all snarled up on the M5 and blah, blah, blah. Go. And I said, yeah, no problem. And then he rang again and said, yeah, just coming into Shrewsbury. Do you want me to pick up anything? I was just thinking, just get home.
And also pick up a bottle of shampoos on your way.
Yeah, exactly. Celebration time.
Oh my goodness me! It really was quite a shock. I mean, I
Yeah.
actually thought it might have been sort of a jury summons or something.
Yes.
Ooh.
Gosh, no, that's not half as fun, is it? So that
Yeah.
was
No.
for services to equality, diversity, and inclusion in horticulture.
Yes.
Incredible.
And you had no inkling at all that this was occurring.
No. No. You just. I mean, I have thought about it quite a lot since because I refused to actually acknowledge it until I'd actually seen it.
Yes,
Yeah,
I can understand that.
In writing, because you sort of go through various processes. And of course, I kept thinking, blimey, there were people talking about me somewhere for the
Yeah.
last, I don't know how many months.
Yeah,
There would have been a committee.
there would have been a committee. People would have been writing letters left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
and-
And I'm thinking, oh, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so
Crikey.
it has been an amazing surprise.
yeah.
And I have just had the most amazing sort of feedback. I've been having,
Oh.
bunches of flowers
Oh.
arriving and
Well, that's
Yeah.
all
lovely to
sorts
have.
of things.
Oh, wonderful.
And a very, very naughty person, I still don't know who it is,
Uh-oh.
had a blue plaque made. One of those.
Yes, not for your house.
Yeah,
my
and
God.
stuck it at the side of the house.
Oh no! And you don't
And
know who it was.
What was interesting about it, so it's got to be somebody in my inner circle
Yes.
somewhere, is that it actually has, because my heritage is Zimbabwean.
Right.
I was
Okay.
born in Zimbabwe. And it's actually got the Zimbabwean symbol at the bottom.
Oh, lovely.
So it's got Advolly Richmond, OBE,
my
blah,
gosh.
blah, 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 blah. And then it's got this. I was thinking, I don't know how it appeared. I don't know.
You don't know who did it. Is it still on your house?
It's in the hall
Brought
now.
it inside.
Yeah, you don't want to be, you don't
Yes,
want
I
everybody
understand
to know.
Not yet. So the New Year's honours list:
Yes.
King Charles, even
King Charles.
at
Yes.
Buckingham Palace.
Yes, I'm assuming. Well, I don't know where it's going to be. I haven't had my investiture yet. I will
Right.
do in the next few months.
Yeah.
They give you dates, I think. And
I
then
see.
You decide, and then
Oh,
I can
okay.
do some serious frock shopping.
Well,
Yes.
and
Come on.
do
You
we
need.
assume it'll be linen?
Oh.
Possibly.
Because we read some. We saw there was an article, a whole article about your fashion, your linen dresses, and
But what I wear.
what
in
you
the
wear
gardens-
in a Gardens Illustrated, was it?
in the garden museum.
Garden Museum.
Yes,
okay.
that was it.
And you said you can never have too many linen dresses. I think was something you mentioned.
No, with pockets.
So we're
pockets.
always eyeing up what dress you're wearing on Gardener's World, but obviously
Always.
you're about far more than your dresses.
Yeah.
I'd like to think so.
Yeah. So you, of course, are a main presenter on Gardener's World, covering the sort of garden history element.
Yes.
And we call them little mini Advolly lectures. And we absolutely love it when we know you're coming up, because we do hang off your every word. We're not just saying that. It's so interesting. And you bring this really exciting and interesting garden history to our screens. And often we find there's some real naughtiness in the history.
There's some interesting things in there.
Some interesting characters who've been
always.
Always. But you used to have a career you were a buyer in the automotive industry and decided to have a complete career change by 40.
Yeah.
And that's how you got into horticulture. How did that thought process go from I'm a buyer in the automotive industry, which is completely different, to then something like this?
Well, that particular industry, certainly at the time, was very male dominated. And I had a young child. And it was very difficult for me to just drop everything and go to Paris because there's a problem with the supply somewhere.
Right, yeah.
Down there. Whereas most of the blokes could go, I'll go.
Yes, of course.
You know, because...
Easy. Wife's at home.
Well, they had a wife.
And it was great and whatever, but I just thought I want to be doing something different, preferably outdoors. And so I enrolled on an evening class. You know, remember those evening classes?
Yes, those evening classes. That was RHS. So that was the RHS horticultural courses.
This one was it wasn't actually accredited. It was a really nice guy in the local technical college, and he just had this little room and he was just teaching horticulture. But I think he was using the RHS model.
Yeah.
And it was really an introduction to horticulture because I didn't really know anything about, I mean, I had a garden, but I didn't really know the sort of fundamentals of it all. And the first couple of lessons, I suddenly thought, actually, okay, yeah.
This is interesting.
I can do this. And then, you know, as it happens, and, you know, things happen in life that are almost like, I don't know, you know, prompts or divine intervention, whatever.
A sign.
And a sign. That's a sign. And they had a round of voluntary redundancies. And I thought to myself, actually, hang on, this is it. This is my cue.
Yep.
Take the money and run.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. And at the same time, we decided to move from Derbyshire down to Shropshire, mainly because we wanted to get my daughter in a particular school. So we thought she needs to have at least a year in the sort of primary school here before going on to the sort of feeder school. And so we did that. So for ages, we sort of, you know, spent the time in Derbyshire and sort of here and then back and forth. And then I realised that I could actually carry on with my RHS qualifications. So I went to Reese Heath College in Nantwich. So I would drive sort of once a week over there. And that's when I met the wonderful Harry Delaney, one of the teachers there. And he was just so passionate. And I mean, passionate. And he'd been there for years. And I think he'd retired a couple of times and came back. And then,
quite.
It was like, you know, isn't it time you know, retired, Harry? No. And he was just. But when he did the plant idents, the RHS, you know, you have to learn hundreds of pests and diseases and weeds and everything, Latin names only. And so when he was telling us what they were afterwards, he would say, and this was, you know, this came from such and such country. David Douglas, you know, brought it in his underpants or whatever, you know, all these kind of things. And I'm thinking, wow, okay, this is really interesting. And so I got more and more involved in the history.
So more of the human element, the side of it as well.
The social history of plants in general.
So a bit of a gossip around the plants.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Well, that is my raison d'etre. Gossip, gossip. Because I spend a lot of time in archives and, libraries and, and a lot of the information that I get is from diaries.
And
letters.
Diary.
Yes. Oh, it feels a bit naughty then, doesn't it?
And it is, and it's just full. And during the sort of Georgian and Victorian era, people wrote 2 or 3 letters a day.
Wonderful.
They were, they were sort of going, and they could literally have conversations through letters.
It's interesting you say that, because I still have a bundle of letters that I used to write to my friend who is up at Sheffield Uni whilst I was at uni in London. And we wrote letters. I'm in my 50s now, but we wrote letters and weekly, and it was conversation via letter. That's how we did it. Phone calls were too expensive for us. And I found these old letters. I completely forgot that we used to have these chats via letter, and it was so lovely going back through. And you really bothered to chat properly in a letter. It wasn't all shorthand. There was great detail, and you asked questions, and you gave information, and it was a whole different world, wasn't it? And that was only a few decades ago. So I can imagine back then. Well,
exactly. And I should imagine you would say to your friend, "Oh, I bought this. I bought a new dress."
Oh, everything.
All of that. And so, and because, especially the ladies of a certain class, they had a lot of time on their hands. And so they would write these detailed letters about what their neighbours are doing. They've got a new head gardener who's got, he's really good with grapes or whatever it is. And such has acquired this new plant from Kew or whatever.
Oh, wow.
And they're talking about sort of bringing in an improver to design their gardens or to do all of this.
Yeah.
And so, gossip.
Gosh, it must be so joyful going through those letters.
I would have a lot of fun
doing it. And piecing together the history.
The stories behind it all.
Well, exactly. I mean, at the moment, I am sort of transcribing sort of journals and things like that. And also I love the way they used to write. It was very sort of the language was so floral.
Yes.
Why use, 10 words when you can use 15 or 20?
Yes.
It's all very, very...
Yes.
And
quite convoluted as well.
Yeah, and their handwriting is so beautiful. It's cursive, gorgeous.
Oh, wow.
It's just lovely. And of course, then you get the horrors of cross-writing, cross-hatching.
No,
where they will write, because obviously paper was quite expensive. So if you couldn't afford it, so you would write across, left to right, left to right, left to right. Yeah. Turn it over, left to right, left to right, left to right, and then you would rotate it. Is it 45? Well, you sort of rotate it, and then you wrote
across the other writing
between the lines. Yeah, so you're writing between. The lines.
Oh my gosh!
And I have a couple of those letters in which I've sort of taken over the years, and it's fine once you look at it long enough. You can see
you get a feel
the lines,
right?
Yeah.
Look, that sounds tough.
Yeah.
So you say
madness.
You're transcribing letters at the moment. What's that for?
It's for a project that I am doing.
A hush hush, need to know basis only. Got it. We'll ask no more. So you mentioned earlier that you were born in Zimbabwe. Mm-hmm. How long were you out there for before coming to this country?
I was 8.
You were 8.
Okay.
Do you have many memories from out there?
Some. It depends. I mean, I'm ambassador for a tiny little charity that's just across the road here called Village Water. And the reason that I became their ambassador was that I actually do recall fetching water from a river because I grew up in rural Zimbabwe, where you actually go and get water.
Yeah.
I mean, I was probably more of a hindrance, to be quite honest.
Oh, surely not.
So that part of my heritage is, pretty important.
Yeah.
And village water actually sort of go to sort of various places in Zambia, etc., and they actually sort of put in wells and things like that, so that and latrines for the children in classes, so they can wash their hands and showers and all that kind of thing, because clean water means that there's less disease, and so the children can go to school, especially the girls, because I'm quite passionate about female education, and so when if a girl has her period, she can't go to school if she can't wash.
Right.
Yeah.
And so immediately,
hygiene,
she's at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that I'm very, very,
Yeah.
I feel
so you're ambassador
strongly
for that.
Yes. Yeah.
Very interesting. Yes, I mean, you take that for granted, don't you, when you have access to running water? And the fact that we even flush our loos with drinking water still blows my mind in this country.
Well, exactly. And during COVID, when we're all washing our hands like crazy, if you don't have access to clean water, and it does put it all into perspective when you think about something like that. But village water makes a hell of a difference. It's really, really quite exciting. I did a Radio 4 appeal for them in November, which was really, really good. So
successful. Good. Yep. Well, we'll put a link to it on our website for sure.
Oh, thank you.
Very interesting. So you moved to the UK when you were 8. Do you have any memory of having any involvement with gardening at all when you were little, or was it just something that went on around you and you didn't really think much more of it?
Well, it's something that went on around me, I think. I mean, my paternal grandfather was quite keen on flowers, but I didn't really spend much time with him. I think it was one of those things that sort of my father sort of told me years later. But no, I think it was just...
So you weren't bitten by the bug when you were little. It was then this career change.
I think the seed was sown, excuse the pun, when I was at school. Growing up, because we used to have rural studies, and I remember sort of getting quite excited about sort of leaving the classroom, and we'd all troop down to the school garden, and as my friend will sort of remind me on regular occasions, we get chased by the geese.
These were school geese?
Yeah, it was like,
wow.
We had sort of polytunnels, greenhouses. We had, it was a vegetables. It was a proper,
what school was that?
Rural studies in Somerset, quite close to me. But certainly rural studies was part of the curriculum. And Mr. Cheney was the chappie that sort of, encouraged me, I suppose. And I actually saw him. He passed away a couple of years ago. And I actually saw him, and we had pictures taken. And I said to him that how he had inspired me. I mean, he was in his 90s, I think.
Wow. Oh, he must have really appreciated that.
So that was interesting. And then you just forget about it, because also horticulture, I have always said that horticulture should be treated as a science, as a proper science, because, I mean, for instance, you're studying medicine. Yeah. And then at some point, I should imagine, you're going to specialise, maybe?
Yes, absolutely.
But you can't specialise until you've done the basics. And horticulture is the basis of so many careers. Ethnobotany, botanist, I don't know, florist. Environmentalist, agronomist. The list is endless. But horticulture is at the heart of it all.
It's the foundation.
So rural studies was almost classed as, for the not so bright kids.
All right.
So which is probably why I ended up in it. But
that's rude.
That's rude, yeah.
No, but it was like woodworking and metalwork and all the
I enjoyed that. Actually.
hands. Yeah, I did as well.
I like the woodwork classes.
Like the creative stuff was almost like, they're not academic, so
right.
So yes, I am really quite.
So rural studies ignited something in you. The seed was sown there. I think you call it forest school, isn't it? Now you had forest school when you were young.
I mean, that was when I was really young, and that was just kind of running around in
a forest.
I guess that's what it says
Try
on the tin.
Try not to get lost. It's not quite the same thing.
Try to survive.
Yeah.
But what happened after school? So you had your rural studies, which you enjoyed. Did you then go and study anything at all to do with horticulture, or was it then
No, it was literally something that I then just left. Because at the time, being a gardener was considered...
it's really changed.
It's changed. So it's like, I want to be a gardener. No, you don't. Slap. You go and become a lawyer, a dentist, brain
We've
surgeon.
heard that multiple times on these chit-chats,
so
actually.
Many times.
A lot of our guests have said, well, when I was at school, it wasn't really an option. But we think it's slowly changing. We're hearing there's more acceptance of it and more... dare I say, encouragement of it.
Yes.
And so it's sort of going in the right direction.
Well,
isn't it?
because it's an important, part of life.
It's
Growing.
Isn't it?
I mean, we have to grow food to eat, and plants are fundamental, to our
of course
entire
to
existence. And being able to nurture our sort of natural environment and all of that is so important. And I think ideas on that have changed drastically over, just in the last 5 years, 10 years.
Yes,
attitudes to horticulture, to land-based studies in general have changed in a very, very positive way. And long may it continue.
Absolutely. And well, I think it's like most things, the more we're educated on it, the more it evolves, because there's less naivety around it, and therefore more of an intrigue and so on.
It's more diverse as well. Anybody can garden now. Anybody can be part of, to a certain extent, can be part of that in a whole gardening family. And I think social media has really made a difference as well. You sort of get people, showing their, I don't know,
tomatoes.
That's me. Yeah, tomatoes. Tomatoes, and your squashes and your, all of that, and you can share them with like-minded people.
Yeah,
and and people encourage each other.
So a big gardening movement thanks to social media.
I think so, yeah.
Partly,
I think it's
a
helped.
positive of it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's much more accessible now, isn't it? And you can find information so much more easily, and it's not for the elite, it's for everybody. It's the accessibility is really improved for sure.
Yeah.
So your role on Gardener's World is as the garden historian, and the social history. How did that come about? Did they approach you about it, or did you suggest it would be a good segment to have on the show?
I'm trying to. Well, they came to me because I know this sounds really, really weird coming from somebody that's sitting here talking to you, but I'm actually quite a private person.
Right.
Okay, now I see why that's weird.
Yeah, I wondered where that was going, but we'll respect your privacy.
You have no idea how many things I turn down. But it's just, I don't. I am, I just. It's like that OBE thing, with the sign. I was actually quite horrified, and I was thinking, "Oh my God, how many people have seen this?" What's the post
under the open? the poor postman's like, oh my gosh.
What?
We actually get it, Advolly.
We do.
It sounds bizarre to say, but we're also very private.
You know, and I said to my husband, I said, how long has it been there? Because it was over Christmas. It appeared over Christmas.
Oh my gosh.
And he actually rang me. I was at the supermarket. He rang me and he said, did you notice anything different on the house when you went? And I said, no. And so I'd literally gone to my car, sitting on the drive, got in, my car's facing the house, I'm busting, I'd gotten there, drove off, came back, came in there, and this thing was there. And I noticed, and I was like,
oh my word.
how long has it been there? Anyway, so Gardener's World, sorry.
So Mr. R has no idea who put the blue plaque there?
No.
Or was it him?
No. I mean, we have our suspicions. We think they will be confronted at some stage.
They will be interrogated.
Yes.
And they
Spotlight
will be
on.
destroyed.
But yeah, and so I sort of tend to... So I sort of hid from the local papers as well. You know, I did a short interview with the local radio, but the sort of newspapers, and it's like
shrinking away
into your tortoise shell, like a tortoise is just like goodbye.
Yeah, and anyway, and I can't remember how the conversation even started, but I went there. Somebody sort of said, "Oh, do you want to come and have a quick chat?" And I turned up. Expecting sort of just one person, and I think there were 4 or 5, and it's like, whoa,
whoa, too many people, claustrophobic.
And when we just chatted, and they sort of said, oh, what kind of garden have you got, blah blah blah, and they came and filmed my garden. That was the first.
Oh, that's how it started.
So must have been pre-COVID. I don't know. Yeah, it would have been pre-COVID because I did Alton Towers we filmed during COVID. Now that was a bizarre experience because Alton Towers...
Filming at Alton Towers?
Yeah, it was closed.
Oh, so it was like a ghost park.
There was only,
oh my gosh.
It was only the 5 of us there. Myself, my director, our soundy, cameraman, and who else? And I think Jess... Was there our researcher there?
And nobody else around?
No,
just all these
empty
empty rides?
We had one of the assistants there just let us in and just made sure we had everything. So we actually stayed the night there, sort of on our own, sort of in the big cabins. But we had to be, spread out.
Of course.
But of course, because it was open and whatnot, it was just a really fascinating...
Interesting.
Just wandering around this completely silent theme park and
my perfect theme park.
Yeah, it is your perfect
and
one.
Actually, to make it even better, if you took the word theme away, a silent park.
Yes, it was definitely before
COVID,
the lockdowns and whatever. Yeah, so we filmed in my garden, sort of downsides, and I sat down sort of in the middle, the cameras and everything, and it rained quite a bit. If I remember right.
Oh no!
But I tell you, these guys are magicians.
Yeah,
you wouldn't
they're incredible,
know.
aren't they?
And it was just such a beautiful feature. It really was. And I just remember watching it and thinking, "Wow, that's a nice garden."
Yeah, we often find that from our guests. For example, there was Tom, who has a dry garden, and the whole point of the segment was about dry gardening. But whilst they were sitting there filming, they heard this tinkle tinkle sound of rain coming down the zinc gutters.
So it was,
and it was
not so dry.
Dry garden,
not so dry.
But they somehow knit it together.
They did.
It's amazing what they can do.
Magic over it. Beautiful. So was it during that filming that you said, I've got this garden history background? Or how did you make the leap from...
I think I started working with one of the directors, and I don't know, I really can't remember how it all came about.
Just bit by bit happened.
Yeah, and I think my first one was Painswick, the Rococo Garden.
Oh, in Gloucestershire.
And I was talk about rookie. I had a holy cardigan on. I had this frock on. I was just completely, I'm here. And I remember, oh my goodness me, I remember when it aired. And my mother rang me. She said, I can't believe you wore that manky little cardigan.
Oh, that's the sort of thing my mother would say.
It's such a motherly thing to say. I can't believe it.
That's what they notice. I'm sure no one else did.
You can't see the holes on the actual feature, but
no one's looking at that, though. They're not going, right, has she got holes in her jumper?
Yeah, what's she wearing?
The thing is that's what I mean, is that, I'm just, it's just like, I'll wear this cardigan because I really, really like it.
Yeah, well, it sounds as good a reason as any.
Yeah, it's got holes in it.
Rococo Gardens was the first one you did, so you presumably do a lot of prep work beforehand. You are going into the archives, and what's the process then? Do gardeners well say, we'd like you to go look at this garden? Or do you say, I've got some info on this garden?
We tend to work together, my director and I will do research.
Yeah.
And we also have a researcher as well, more horticultural researcher. But I do quite a bit of research myself, and I will know a lot about whichever garden we're going to be doing beforehand anyway. So there might be a garden, and I sort of think, because to me,
not much on that.
It has to have a story.
Yeah.
It has to have something about it.
Yeah.
Because I love the history side of it. I love the social history. And obviously the planting is important as well.
Yeah.
So at Long Barn, for instance.
Yes. Vita's place.
Which was just beautiful.
Oh, it must be so fun.
So this is Vita Saxville West's garden.
Yes.
Which they did before Sissinghurst.
Yes.
And they were the naughty couple that you talked about. They had all these very interesting parties.
Oh, they were all at it. The Bloomsbury set. But what's fascinating about that garden is that it is so beautiful. It is so beautiful. If you ever get a chance to go, because Rebecca doesn't open it. It's not one of those ones that's open all the time. And the fact that it precedes Sissinghurst, because everybody's Vita Sackville West and Harold Nicholson. Oh, Sissinghurst.
Yes.
Long Barn is obviously a garden that had an awful lot of, I don't know. It is a garden that was loved.
I mean, you can see that.
It has their personalities in the garden.
Yeah.
And of course, all the stories behind and the gossip and, Vita, at one point while they were at Long Barn, she actually sort of ran off with this woman.
Yeah.
For a while, she was having this affair with this woman and he was having affairs with men and, but
it was all
they would come back together and
to this garden.
But there were other people
why
doing
not,
exactly the same thing. So it's like...
Live and let live, I say, Advolly.
Well, exactly.
As long as you're not harming anyone, then why not?
One question I had actually, when you're visiting these gardens, do they shut off the garden so that it's just you in it, or are there other people milling around sometimes?
9 times out of 10, we will go when the garden is closed anyway, because a lot of them have a day when they're shut.
Yeah.
And so that works out very well. There is the occasional garden. I think I was trying to think which one. Oh, my word. Q. When we filmed at Q. Oh, that was stressful.
Oh,
because,
really?
Well, because obviously, it doesn't close. They couldn't close it down. But we wanted to film in the Palm House. And the big,
gorgeous.
And the big glass house.
Yeah.
And so if you've been, you've got those spiral staircases that are at their end kind of thing. And
gorgeous.
Then you get the top and you can look down. So we wanted to do a piece up there. And so they said, right, okay, we will have somebody at either end for you've got about 10 minutes or so. And these little crocodiles of children.
Oh,
People are going up.
Oh,
Anyway, so we get up to the top, and the cameraman, Gary, sort of says, and he sort of said a few words that we obviously can't repeat. And his lens had steamed up because of the humidity.
Of course.
So
that's going to be a problem.
Waiting for this lens to clear. And
demist.
Oh
my goodness me.
So, no. Most of the time we go when the garden is closed.
Must be so nice.
What a privilege to be able to do that. So you get to walk around those
gardens.
Oh my on your goodness.
Own. Yeah. Well, the thing, this is it, is that I get to see the gardens as they were intended.
Yes.
It's really hard. When you go to gardens and there are people milling around and everybody's trying to take a selfie, trying to take photos. Some of these gardens, they were for family and friends. Yeah. So you wouldn't get these hordes of people. Yeah. So what I do, and I know how privileged I am to actually have time in these gardens. And of course, when they're sort of doing shots and sort of sounds and whatever, I get to wander around.
Oh, that must be fun. You can let them do their thing.
Blissful.
And it's wonderful. And then somebody will come and find me, and then we'll
find you in the garden.
Advolly's out there somewhere. And
that must be lovely.
It is an incredible privilege, yes. Incredible.
Absolutely wonderful. You're patron of Silent Space, aren't you? Which we heard about from one of our guests who's yet to be published. But she talked about it because this will completely give away who it is. But their garden, Waterperry Gardens.
Pat.
Is one,
Sorry.
Abort.
You can edit that bit out.
Abort. And we have been compromised.
She was explaining that there's this. I hadn't heard of it till we spoke to Pat about this charity that is for Silent Space, and it's like your silent carriage on a train.
Yes, absolutely. The whole concept. I mean, it started with Liz Ware when I think it was 2015, maybe a little bit earlier, and her mother, I think, was suffering from dementia. And she sort of mentioned how sort of being in the garden, that it being it's sort of like a silent space, how it made her feel. That's where the idea came from. And the whole point of silent spaces in gardens is that they are open to the public, any garden that's open to the public. And so you have this A-board sign sort of saying silent space, please take time to unplug, unwind. And so you actually enter into this space, and what it does is it almost gives you permission to be silent, to turn your phone off, to just interact with nature, what is around you.
It's mindfulness almost.
Yeah, and there are all sorts of different spaces. I mean, there's one at Benmore Botanic Gardens, and it's actually in this, almost like in a forest.
Oh, lovely.
And then, like it in other gardens, it would be just maybe a room in a hedged or enclosure or somewhere.
Garden room.
And it might just have one bench, or it might have a couple of benches, but you will find people sitting on the benches, just being silent.
Yeah.
So just because there are several people in there, they've entered this space to be silent. And I just love the idea of that, because when I go into gardens to film and I'm on my own, it's like a big silent space.
Yeah,
it's like really big silent space. And I think in this day and age, there's so much noise. There's so much notifications on your phone, other people's notifications on their phone, other people's phones ringing. There's just quite a lot going on. And one of the ideas that Silent Space had was to leave notebooks by the benches.
Oh, that's a nice idea.
Just ask people to, if they want to, you don't have to, just a bit of feedback or just write whatever.
So feedback about what you are hearing, what you're experiencing, or
anything anything,
just anything that's in your mind.
And so some of the feedback was, which is where I got that saying, is that somebody just wrote, I felt that I had been given permission to be silent.
Lovely.
Or you'd get somebody saying, I sat here for half an hour listening to the birds.
Yeah.
And the insects buzzing. And because you're allowing yourself to be totally still, all of a sudden, nature starts.
Absolutely.
You start being, and just lots and lots of feedback, gratitude. You hear a lot of thank yous. Thank you for sort of providing this. So so it's very therapeutic.
Yeah,
very, very therapeutic.
Course.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Well, before we get on to your dream garden, Advolly, we should talk about your fantastic book, which we can speak confidently about firsthand because it's...
I can see it.
Can you see
I can see it.
Sweet Pea got that as a Christmas present.
Yep.
And that is A Short History of Flowers by Advolly Richmond. And it's just a really beautiful book. The illustrations are gorgeous.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a bit about the book?
Yeah.
Oh, it was such a pleasure to write that book because it was something that I was so passionate about. And Sarah Jane Humphrey, who did the botanical illustrations and all the other little black and white, the ink drawings.
Yes.
She is just so talented. She is amazing.
Yeah.
And I remember at the beginning when because I was commissioned to do it. And I remember talking to the commissioning editor and she said, have you had any thoughts about an illustrator? And before COVID, I'd actually thought to myself, I would love to take a course in botanical illustration. And Sarah Jane sort of ran those down in the south where she was. And I thought, should I? I wouldn't mind, Anyway, COVID happened. So I just didn't think any more of it. Anyway, and so it was like, do you have any ideas about a botanical illustrator? And before I could open my mouth, she said, well, we're thinking Sarah Jane Humphrey. And I said, yes! Yes! Absolutely. I think she had sort of had her mouth open. What about, yes! Anyway, so that was just so lovely. And I had to pick 60 flowers. And
was that hard?
I started with about 170.
Yeah. Wow, 170.
and it was quite interesting because I walked around my garden and I just made a list of all the plants that I've got because I've got lots of quite unusual plants in my garden. Anyway, so I just went round and I wrote every single plant that I had. And then I did first pass, quick sort of Google. And quite a few of them I crossed them off straight away. There's nothing interesting about them per se because I was looking for stories around the plants. And so I'll be whittling them down. And then I'll get to sort of 80. And then it's like, okay, well,
now it gets hard.
This one's quite interesting. It's got 2 really interesting stories, which I'll go with this one. Yeah, okay, this one. And then I sort of whittled it down. And then I got to a point where I couldn't decide between, this flower and that one. And then I suddenly thought, well, the stories had to either make me laugh, sort of like the snapdragon and, curses and whatever. And I just thought that was just so ridiculous.
What was it? There's a word, necromancy.
Necromancy.
Which is a word I hadn't heard before till I saw your book.
It was
about the snapdragons.
Yeah.
This is like talking to the dead, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know, is it? It's just sorcery, witchcrafty kind of thing, isn't it? Anyway, and when I found that, because I was actually going to go with the oil story, because you can get oil from snapdragon seeds and things like that. And I was good. But when I came across that one, especially the Italian Renaissance one, wearing it about your person.
Yeah.
And I just thought,
I love that.
It's got to go in. And the story had to make me, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like the yucca with its pollinator, leaving its pollinator. Sort of when you bring plants into a different country, people don't think about what the pollinators that they have co-evolved with. And so that story made me think, wow.
What is a yucca pollinator?
It's a little white moth. It's like tiny. No, I don't think so. I don't know. But it's sort of the same colour as the flower.
Mm-hmm.
And so it can only lay its eggs on a yucca.
Right.
Oh, wow.
So they have co-evolved for millions of years. Obviously.
Originating from where?
California,
right.
that kind of region along that area.
Interesting.
But and what's interesting about it, because it's actually called Tegeticula eucacella, something like that. So it is that whole connection with the yucca.
Yeah.
Sort of there.
Okay.
And so there were all, stories that really either made me just think, good grief, really?
Yeah.
They made me laugh, or I just, they were just really
It's
interesting.
a wonderful book.
It is.
You love it, don't you, Sweet
Yeah,
Pea?
entirely. And I love a good, funny story about a plant. I remember one of my first ones, which I always just found really, really funny, was about forget-me-nots and how they got their name.
Oh, right, yes.
And I don't know if this is just a funny myth, but it's about a kind of princess and a knight, and they walk down to this stream, and he picks these forget-me-nots, but as he picks them for her, he falls into the stream, and then he cries out, "Forget me not!
Forget me not!" I would like to think that is true. Well,
I would like
you can
to.
just imagine a hand.
Yes.
A hand.
All
like
very
Excalibur
dramatic.
and the sword, a hand with the, you forget, as he floats down the... Yeah, so there were quite lots and lots of stories, but, some of them just made me laugh. And
Have you got any favourites?
A favourite in the book?
Like a favourite one that just really cracks you up.
The Strelitzia was quite alarming, but very funny. That's one with the really, really cross and angry water buffalo that sort of went after that little party. And, a couple of them scurried up this tree, sort of sitting on the tree while this bull is going ballistic and goring their horses and everything. Not that that's funny, but
no.
But it was just the fact that when what's his name, Carl Thunberg, came back and they're sitting up in this tree, and then one of them just bursts out. One soldier just bursts out crying, and so he then sort of goes off, and he comes across Strelitzia. He comes across this sort of plant, and then he sort of says, "Wow, having had this experience not so long ago," and I just found that quite.
That tickled you.
It just sort of these are the stories that you don't hear about when you're looking at these beautiful flowers.
Mm-hmm.
There's the stories that you don't hear about, and sort of just how these plants came to be in our gardens. Yeah.
Okie dokie, Advolly. So, for your dream garden, what will be the garden boundary?
I would have 3 boundaries, obviously. So
I thought you say 3 gardens.
No. I would have the house here, and one of them would be a yew hedge, high,
Beautiful.
tall yew hedge for wildlife and things, and I would have a scented hedge, a white scented hedge. So you'd have lilacs, you'd have Rosa rugosa, Philadelphus, and honeysuckle linking through it, whatever, again for wildlife.
Beautiful.
And then at the far end of the garden, I would have a walled sort of garden kind of thing. Again, high, my privacy.
Yeah. Privacy all the way through.
And a bit like our garden here, which is all garden rooms. So,
lovely.
Yeah. And then one part of the wall, I would have sort of trained roses like Alberic Barbier or something, the ones where you can actually sculpt them onto the wall.
Yeah, lovely.
I'd have probably an espaliered fruit tree or something. And then I would have a big, huge, old wooden door. And there was a pebble beach on the other side.
See, you're talking my language, Advolly.
Gosh.
So you're by the sea.
Yeah.
Which coastline? Are you imagining a coastline in the UK, or have you got one in mind in another country?
I would actually sort of a Welsh
coastline.
I think. Yeah, pebble.
It is
or
a
Somerset,
rugged.
where you get, because I like collecting shells. I'm one of those people that sort of wanders hunched over.
Yes, on the beach.
For interesting little shaped
Yeah,
pebbles and
lovely.
stones and bits of porcelain that have been sort of rubbed, so that kind of beach. So
Okay, so Welsh coastline we're talking.
Welsh.
I think so, yes.
And can you see over your wall to the sea?
No,
because of the privacy thing.
Privacy, but you can walk out and then it's immediately
there.
there.
It is.
And it's there. Yes.
Your own private beach, maybe. A little rowing boat on it.
Yeah.
Head out.
Yeah, so that I didn't have to be with people.
So just avoid all humans.
I absolutely love that. Then, would you like a shed or a greenhouse if you had to choose?
Greenhouse, definitely.
Ooh,
maybe with a little sort of storage shed thing attached at some point, but it has to be a greenhouse. It would have to be one of those Victorian, large old Victorian greenhouse, or rather glass house.
Okay.
And it would be on a brick base.
Yep.
And it would be made of wood.
All right.
Yep. Nice. And
solid wooden.
So wooden
white. But with all the mod cons. Because I had my first proper greenhouse installed last year.
Well, congratulations on that.
Beautiful. And I love it. I love it. It's got the finials and all sorts and everything. It was sort of like a Christmas present kind of thing.
Oh,
that's a nice
Christmas present.
And so it's got to have, and so this one that I have has, the windows will open when it gets to a certain temperature. And
great.
So I would want all of that, but in a traditional Victorian, even a bit of self-cleaning glass wouldn't go amiss.
Does that exist?
If that exists, we'll put it in.
I believe you do, with proper potting bench.
Yeah.
And also I would want to have an area where I could have 2 chairs, preferably comfy Lloyd Loom chairs. I'm actually describing my own greenhouse.
Is this what you've got?
I wanted a bit, But this one is going to be a lot larger. And it's going to be wooden, whereas mine's aluminium. And somewhere to sit and a coffee table.
Any heat source in there, like a stove of any sort?
Yes, I would want whatever came with sort of that kind of
natural
and sort of maybe grow lights as well. Be able to have grow lights or things like that. It is a fantasy.
Yes, absolutely.
Sort of greenhouse, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what flooring would you have in your greenhouse?
Herringbone brick.
Right.
Very nice. We've had that before, actually. It's a very nice,
it's gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah, so it looks good, but it's also durable, and you can sweep it, and
you can get it worse.
I'm sure you've come across a lot of amazing greenhouses when you've been around these gardens. Have you got a favourite one that you've seen?
Gosh, no, I've seen so many. I mean, the ones where they've got sort of like a pinery vinery attached to them, so you've got the grapes, and then you've got the peaches, and you've got this, some of them are just beautiful. Just absolutely stunning. So no, I don't think I just
Not
love
a
them
favourite.
all.
Just all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then, very tricky question. What would be 5 ornamentals?
Oh,
We're reducing it down to 5.
We're reducing
not
it from
60.
170.
Oh my goodness me. Well, roses
Okay,
have
we're
to
going to
be
need some
in there
specifics.
because I have so many roses in my garden.
Really?
I have so many. Last count, I've got over 40, some duplicates and whatnot. I love roses, but my roses have to work hard. They have to be repeat flowering.
Yes.
I do. Have I got any that are? No, I haven't. Yeah, all of my roses are repeat flowering. They're scented.
Any particular ones that stand out from
a
your...
name? Yeah, a name of one that you really like.
Oh my goodness! I think Gentle Hermione. Gentle Hermione is up there, which is just the most gorgeous scent, and it's beautiful, like this soft pink. And so I've got Gentle Hermione. Generous Gardener's another one.
Yeah, I love that.
And Poet's Wife.
Oh yeah.
Was one that I got a couple of years ago. That is a shocking bright yellow. And again, it's just so beautiful. Yeah, I've got, we could be here all day. I have got.
Do you just go for, say, David Austin roses, or do you, are there any particular rose breeders that you would only stick to?
They tend to be David Austin roses. But I do have some other ones that are sort of different breeders, like sort of Beals and, there's whites and all sorts. I get what I like. It doesn't really... And David Austin's only up the road as well. So.
Oh, right.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, that's handy, isn't it?
Well, I try not to go. That's just ridiculous. I mean,
It's a money pit.
when I go to London, because I sort of go through phases where I'm on the train all the time, and I actually go past the David Austin rose thing, and so at certain times of the year, it's just like this splash of colour.
Well, you can see it from the train.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Wow.
Okay, pass. And so roses. And because this is a dream garden, I have an Edgeworthia chrysantha, the yellow one. It flowers about February time on bare stems.
Right.
And the scent is just glorious. And the first time I came across it was at Kew many years ago. And when you go to a garden and there's a scent and you don't know where it is, and you are literally led by the nose to that plant. And that's what happened with me. But they're not the cheapest things.
Okay.
And so I had it on my wish list for ages. And eventually I was given one by my daughter for my 50th birthday. So 10 years ago. And it was quite funny because she paid a lot of money for it.
Oh, sweet.
And it was quite a big, the big pots. And it was quite big.
Oh, wow.
Bless her, she couldn't get it in her little chimney. She couldn't get
sweet.
it in her car. So she rang me. She rang me and said, Mum,
I've got this present for you.
Birthday present, but I can't get it in the car. Can you come in?
Oh, so sweet.
And so on my birthday morning, she brought it out. They put it in a wheelbarrow with a bow and everything. So I just pretended
you hadn't seen it and actually picked it up in your car.
So, and I love that. But also, I would love a red dragon. There's a red one.
Well, so I've just Googled this Edgeworthia.
Edgeworthia.
Having not heard of it before. So it looks like it's a shrub, is it?
Yes, yeah.
And it has these sort of ball-like flowers.
Yeah, flowers, yeah. And they open
like Sputniks, almost.
so yellow with a little white centre, but the scent is
really strong scent.
Yeah, but there's also a red one called Red Dragon.
Wow,
and, that's on my.
That's the next.
It's going to
Does
be
your
my.
daughter have a bigger car now?
Yeah.
Yes, she does actually, and it's my 60th birthday this year. So hey,
big birthday!
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Also, got to have sweet peas.
Of course, sweet peas.
Of course, and snowdrops.
Mm-hmm.
I have hundreds of snowdrops.
But you have one named after you as well.
I have one named after me as well. Yes, I was actually.
Fabulous.
I think it's just come out. It will be soon because it's actually quite a late one. It's an Elweezii. So I'll be posting that on social media in the next few days.
Oh, lovely.
So I have lots of snowdrops.
Do you have lots because they're just spreading, or are you doing something to increase your
I collect them.
Okay.
And quite...
There's a name for that, isn't it?
Galanthophile.
Galanthophile.
But I'm not very, very obsessive about it.
Okay.
But I was recently given a couple of really, really interesting ones, which are just flowering now. But I like to have ones that have a provenance.
Yeah.
So they have to have. It's nice to get one so I can say, well, this one I got from such and such.
Yeah.
Or
That's the memory behind it.
Bought this. So that's nice.
Lovely.
And so I bring them in, and the scent is just gorgeous on some of them.
You bring them in as
like
cut, or you have some
Yeah,
that you've got.
Yeah, like a. Sorry,
Advolly's scooting along in her chair, out of picture, and she's coming back with
pretty.
see
Oh,
a
that's really
pretty
cute,
bottle.
actually.
Oh, that's lovely with some snowdrops in.
On. Yeah, but the thing is that a
Beautiful.
lot of people don't realise that snowdrops are scented, and some of them are just beautiful.
Really. Which ones do you recommend for their strong scent?
I've got one which is Hillary's Coquette. And that I got that one from Morless Plants.
Right.
And so we did a swap with that. So I gave her an Advolly Richmond, and she gave me that. And then there's another one, Mrs. McNamara. That's an early one. That was named after Bob Dylan's mother-in-law.
Oh, right. Oh, wow.
That's and some of them you bring in, they won't have a scent outside, but as soon as you bring them in and it's warm, it gets
scent.
Oils.
I know there's a theme here. So my fifth one is actually another one that I really, really want. And I discovered it for the first time last year. And it's Itia ilicifolia.
Right. Let me Google that.
Sweet Spire, I think, is the common name. And it smells like honey.
Oh, these long dangling.
It's like a garria. It's like a garria, garria elliptica with the tassels kind of thing.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
But the scent, sort of at dusk or when the sun's out, and the bees absolutely love it. You can, so that's on my list.
I like the look of that. So what sort of soil does that like? Does it like a damp, dry? So is it in your garden currently?
No. This is
on the wish list.
I saw it
for the 60th.
When I was filming at Kelmarsh.
Oh yeah,
they had one, and they had theirs. I don't think it was trained against a wall, but it was growing against a wall, and it was just so beautiful.
Then, what would be 5 edible plants?
Right. Again, I'm sort of taking inspiration from what I
absolutely
grow. So Cavola Nero, black kale. Again, that's another sort of really nice looking ornamental.
It is.
Heritage tomatoes. I grow lots of heritage tomatoes. Even more now that I've got my greenhouse.
Your greenhouse. So you were doing just outside before.
Well, I had a polytunnel before, which isn't the same.
No. Stupid polytunnel.
Practical.
It is what it is. It's practical. It's practical. And heritage tomatoes, so I grow quite a lot of those, the big, beefy ones. And also, I buy heritage tomatoes from the market.
Oh, lovely.
Right.
A really good market here. And I collect the seeds.
Yeah.
Good idea.
And I grow beautiful, I haven't got a clue what they're called.
Right.
But they look gorgeous.
They're beautiful. They're sweet
and
ones.
They taste,
Acidic
and they
ones.
taste lovely, and they're big. There's a purple one that I grew. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I sort of got this idea from a colleague of mine, Adam Alexander.
Oh.
His recent book is The Accidental Seed Detective. And
That's a
and
cool name.
he goes all over the world. And he sort of talks to people, old ladies, 160-year-old sort of women.
Whoa.
In
I
their
only lived to that age.
Good luck with that, Sweetie.
Sitting on their market stalls selling these beautiful vegetables and fruit, and these are all sort of produce that they have been growing for years, for generations.
Yeah.
And so I just thought, well, I'll collect some seeds next time I do, and it works.
Yeah,
it works.
It's a good way of doing
Quite a fun way of doing it.
When it's from the market as opposed to from the supermarket.
Yeah, from the market.
When it's from the market, it's locally grown, so you know it
and
works
also
in your area.
you get very unusual tomatoes.
Yes.
And you just pick the ones that you like. You taste them if they're nice, and I save the seed. But like I said, they're not named or anything like that.
No. Well, I love that.
Also, I would like an Egremont russet apple.
An Egremont?
Okay.
Oh my gosh, what is that?
Yes, that's an old variety. I think it's from about 1872, something like that. Anyway, and I really like them. They've got this nutty flavour, and they don't look attractive. A bit like the tomatoes. I mean, some of them are, frankly,
gnarly,
grotesque. But they taste lovely, and I love those.
Yeah.
So I'd love one of those.
Yeah.
Do you have fruit trees in your garden currently?
We have a pear tree, but that we inherited that.
Oh, just one pear tree?
Yeah, just one pear tree.
I understood the pears you had to grow more than one because of the pollination between the two.
No, it's very prolific.
Interesting.
It just gets on with it.
And your neighbours, are you next door?
We do have neighbours, and they have apple trees and pears, and that side have pears as well. So yeah, it's quite prolific, but pears are quite a difficult fruit, really, aren't they?
They're a bit difficult, yeah.
We have a pear tree. We have two pear trees. Actually, one of them just fell down.
It was so old. It was ancient.
It's quite sad. It was ancient. So we now just have one pear tree.
Yeah.
We would get a lot of pears, well, quite a few pears, but I think Monty says how you pick them whilst they're unripe.
Yeah.
And let them ripen in your fruit bowl, essentially. But we never really got very far with the pears. Apple's great, but pears are a bit trickier for us.
Yeah, I tend to just leave them and sort of harvest them a few at a time to eat rather than cluttering up my fruit bowl.
Yeah, good idea.
And obviously herbs, especially basil, to go with my heritage tomato, caprese salad.
Yes.
Making
me hungry
all
now.
of that.
Yummy.
And something that I grew for the first time this year, tromboncino squash.
Oh, yes.
Those long ones.
How do they taste? Because they look fun.
Beautiful.
Are they?
Oh, really?
Absolutely beautiful. We finished the last one at Christmas.
Oh, wow.
We actually let one sort of ripen and harden
Yeah.
so that we could keep it in the greenhouse so we could have it over Christmas.
Yeah.
And they're such fun. They really are. And also, if you haven't got much space, they're brilliant because we sort of grew them on just did like a thing.
A thing?
Like a trellis.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
2 huge pots either side, and they just grow and then they hang down.
Dangle down. What do they taste like?
Squash. Really, really nice squash.
Just nice and
They're
tender.
ours were very, very tasty. Very tasty.
How are you cooking them?
Roast them.
Nice.
Sort of. So you cut them in slices, score them, olive oil, seasoning, in the oven for 30, 40 minutes, depending on how thick they are.
Yeah.
And
do you have to take the skin off, or do you eat the skin as well?
I take the skin off. Well, roast them with the skin instead of scoop.
Nice.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Oh, that would be lovely.
Oh, delicious.
Yeah.
It's absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, tromboncinos.
Tromboncinos. Then, what would be your one statement tree?
Mulberry.
Oh,
mulberry.
Lovely choice.
A mulberry, and it has to be a veteran tree, one of those ones that's propped up. It's old and propped up, and it's sort of spread a bit. And also because they're perfect for having sort of picnics and things underneath them. So my veteran tree will have heard all sorts of gossip and stories and things that it can tell me.
I see.
If it's been around for like 300 years. Oh my God, what secrets.
If trees could talk. Huh?
Oh, can you imagine? Those huge ones in the middle of fields, they'll be like, yep, the wall went past here, and then...
Yeah.
It would be chaos if trees could talk. Just like I say, it'd be chaos if dogs could talk.
Oh,
it would be...
It'd just be bull, squirrel.
well, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Beautiful.
Nice.
And do you have any trees like that in your garden?
No, I would love to have a mulberry tree. I would love to have one, but
You want the mature one as well. So.
Yeah, space. I mean, I love mulberries, the fruit themselves, but I just love the shape of the tree. I love the leaves. I love, just their longevity and their character.
Their stories.
Gorgeous.
Yep.
Would you like a pond or a pool, and what plant would you have in that area?
Right. I love the idea of having a natural swimming pool.
Yes.
I love the idea. But the reality, not so much. Things rubbing along your leg, maybe.
Leeches.
Swimming. So I would love to have an actual swimming pool, which maybe I could look at. So I've had to just sort of say, right, can I have an indoor swimming pool so I can swim?
Yeah,
and then have a nice large formal pond.
Oh, I see.
Again, you
want it all.
I want it all. So I want my swimming pool, but I want that inside, and then I'll have a formal pond because I've got one here. I've got like a formal one.
Oh,
sort of
lovely.
Like marbly, stony kind of thing around the
Oh,
side.
lovely.
Yeah.
That's in my Italian garden.
Right.
And so, a formal pond.
How big would it be?
Not too big. I mean, the one that we've got is about 6 foot deep.
Oh, wow.
It's about 3 feet, 4 feet wide. 5. I don't know. Quite
Gosh,
wide.
they're very deep.
Oh yes, I know. It's lovely.
Who did the digging
it's
for
wonderful.
that?
Uh-oh, the story's going to come out.
Student. There was this lovely guy, Dan, who was a student, and he was trying to save up money to do whatever.
Perfect.
And so over a few weeks, he would just come and he sort of dug.
So you said we'd like you to dig a hole 6 feet deep. What did he say to that? Sounds really dodgy.
My husband did help as well, but I've got this fabulous picture of my husband and one of his friends sort of standing. You can just see, and I mean, he's 6 foot something. You can just see them.
His eyes over the top.
And we had the inside rendered in black, so that it's, it's just a really, really gorgeous feature.
So you dug the pond, and then you say it's rendered in black. So what's the?
Yes.
So how do you
black.
mean?
Because some people put dye.
Yes, to get it sort of black.
Well, this one has got It's been
I see. So it's a very dark pond then.
Yes, because the edges are sort of like a grey, marbly kind of effect,
right? Nice,
kind of thing.
Oh, lovely.
And so it's all sort of greys and white and green. So there's a big yew hedge backdrop.
Right.
Kind
Gorgeous.
of thing to it.
Interesting.
And a pavilion at the other end. So I would like something like that, but yeah, not too big.
Not too big.
Not too big.
Yeah. And water lilies.
Yes.
Water lilies. I've got a water lily in there. It's quite a large one called Mrs. Richmond.
Oh,
Anything to do with the Advolly Richmond?
No, it isn't. This was actually bred in 1910 in France.
So not.
okay.
But it was quite a nice birthday present.
Oh,
yeah.
that's so sweet.
So what colour is that?
Yeah.
It's a pink.
Yeah.
Pink.
Oh, I bet that looks stunning with all the sort of greys and blacks.
Yeah.
Lovely. Yes.
Very nice. Final question to finish this beautiful dream garden off is, what would be your favourite seating area to chillax on, a drink to have, and a plant to have by your side?
Oh, okay. Well, I think I'm a bit of a sort of romantic. Dappled shade under a pergola.
Lovely.
Vine-covered pergola, preferably with grapes hanging down.
You could just pluck whilst you're sitting there.
Get all sort of like a, Roman sort of
Yes.
triclinium kind of thing. And obviously with sort of honeysuckle and clematis and stuff sort of crawling through it. And I would like to have a view out to a small perennial meadow.
All right.
From my seating area. And I would like to have a hammock between two purple beeches.
Oh my god.
So you're in the hammock between the purple beeches. Where's
No, I'm sitting under
you're
the
under the
dappled
pagoda.
shade.
Oh, but you want to see
but
the
I
hammock.
can see.
Oh, lovely.
So I can walk through the perennial meadow.
Yes.
And make an idiot of myself trying to get into the hammock.
I see. But there's full privacy, so there's no worries.
Yeah, nobody can
no one
see
can
me.
see
So if I fall out several times and make a complete idiot, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And I would be, depending on the time of day, it would be a cup of tea. Otherwise, it would be a glass of fizz, something fizzy, or a spritz. Something
so
like
we're talking
that.
something fizzy like champagne, or fizzy like a gin and tonic, or
champagne, prosecco.
Yes.
Yeah, some fizzy wine.
Yeah, you need to read my bio on my Instagram. That's what I'm powered by prosecco and snacks.
I hear you. So you want a bowl of snacks as well, then? All the snacks, sadly.
Snacks. Plant. Oh, now that I couldn't really. Can I just have what I'm surrounded?
Well, yeah, you got
chocolate vine.
Chocolate
I
vine.
would quite like a chocolate vine growing with the grapes in it, because I rather the white one. I've got a white one, white chocolate vine. It sounds a bit weird, doesn't it?
It does,
but they do smell gorgeous.
Another beautiful fragrance.
Yeah, I think there's a theme. My garden is just
smelly.
going to
very
be
smelly,
overpowering.
It is, but it'll be nice. Because then at the same time,
beautiful.
you'll have the sea air, because you've got the view of the sea. And so you have this mix of kind of fresh sea air, and then all these fragrances kind of...
Yeah.
And of course, they're all going to be flowering at different times of the
Good
year.
success. Yeah,
so
succession flowering.
It's not as if you can have...
An overwhelming hit. We have on our terrace, we have a honeysuckle and a jasmine and a rose, and they all flower at the same time. And we call it the dining terrace, because where our outdoor table is.
Yeah.
And it's quite overpowering at certain times of year.
It is, actually.
It's
I can
too
imagine.
much, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to read back to your dream garden just in case I missed anything or you want to change anything. Okay? So we can have this tip top. So we're going with a probable Welsh coastline. And then your three boundaries, obviously you've got the house as well. But your three ones were going to be one high yew hedge, one white scented hedge with things like Philadelphus and lilacs and honeysuckle in there. And then you wanted one wall kind of garden bit, really high wall, so it's nice and private. And then you wanted a big wooden door out through there to a nice pebbled beach, private, so that no one else has to be there. It's your perfect private space. And you were going to have up that wall trained roses, sculpted wands, espaliered pears, etc. Then you wanted a really nice old Victorian glass house with possible storage attached to it, with a herringbone brick floor, with a brick base, wood in white, with all the finials, windows that open, also self-cleaning glass apparently, a potting bench, Lloyd loom chairs, and a coffee table and a stove, and grow lights in there. So we've got the whole shebang. Then your 5 ornamentals. We had roses like Gentle Hermione, Generous Gardener, Poet's Wife. Then we had an Edgeworthia chrysantha, and also you wanted the red dragon one. Sweet peas, cool. Snowdrops like Hilary's Coquette. And then an Itia ilicifolia, also called Sweet Spire. Then your 5 edibles were Cavallonera, Heritage tomatoes, Egremont russet apple, herbs like basil and tromboncino. Your 1 tree was a mulberry, and you wanted it to be a nice proper veteran's tree, propped up, so you can have picnics under, and you want to hear all the gossip from it.
All the
Very important. Then you didn't like the idea of the reality of a natural swimming pool, so we were going to kind of have an indoor swimming pool, and then the outside bit in the garden, in your dream garden, was this nice formal pond, marble, quite deep, not huge, but kind of rendered in black, a bit like the one that you have at home, but nice and formal. And water lilies in there like Mrs. Richmond. And then your seating area was under dappled shade, under this nice kind of vine-covered pergola with grapes. It was going to have the white chocolate vine there, also as possible some honeysuckle and clematis, a view of a small perennial meadow with a hammock between 2 purple beech trees. You're going to either have a cup of tea or a glass of fizz or spritz, and that might be champagne prosecco with some snacks. Yep. Nailed it.
I can feel myself there already. I'm there.
You can live with that. Well, we'll get planning then, and we'll let
Blueprints
you know.
will be sent your way soon.
Sounds absolutely beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Advolly, for your time. Really appreciate
thank you so
it.
much.
And best of luck with this Hush Hush project that's happening
Not
this
going to
year.
talk about that.
Can't wait to find out about it one day soon.
Oh, thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure sitting here daydreaming about gorgeous plants.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
it's wonderful. Thank you for inviting me.
It's been a
wonderful.
pleasure. There's been a good old chit-chat with Advolly.